We're going to take a look at the Vision in its current form because these guys started off strong and things took an interesting turn when they turned on Seth Rollins. So the current existence of the Vision does not include Seth Rollins. We all know that. And eventually, I think Paul will either turn on one of them or one of them will turn on Paul. I think it may end up with just Bronson and Breaker together, or it could end up with Bronson and Paul if Breaker gets tired or perceives Paul Heyman to be in the way of him getting the world title or whatever, even though Paul Heyman is trying to help him out. But, Paul Heyman's manipulative. So anything can play into this storyline if they decide to play a certain hand. It just all depends on what they decide to do. But let's share some thoughts here. So, Bron Breaker, we all know he's the guy that they want to take to the main event of WrestleMania for the next, I don't know, however many years they can. He's the guy to carry the mantle. He's the guy who's going to be main eventing in Roman Reigns' place. I mean, he has the look. He's big. He's got muscles. He does a devastating spear even better than Roman Reigns. And that in and of itself is impressive. The guy is decent enough on the mic, and he looks like a killer. Like, he looks like he'd, be able to punch anybody in the mouth and drop them, okay? Like, he looks like a badass. I can see why they call him a badass. So he has the qualities that you would want in a main eventer and want in a babyface. I don't think he's an underdog. I mean, I think he's such a badass that it kind of takes away from the underdog storyline that they could tell. But it's kind of a good thing because, they've done that underdog storyline with too many of the baby faces in the past, and I feel like it's gotten old. So maybe we need a badass baby face in WWE that's the face of the company, that isn't an underdog. We don't need to overplay and play out the underdog role. Breaker doesn't have to be the underdog. He can be the bully baby face, and he can still, get double teamed and get cheated out the title and screwed over and all that. I mean, Stone Cold was a badass baby face who beat the hell out of people and dominated, but got dominated and cheated out the title and all that. So in that aspect, I feel like Bron Breakker could be like Steve Austin. Not saying that he's Steve Austin, because I understand there's a thin line with that, and a lot of people don't like when other people are compared to Stone Cold and The Rock and certain things like that. But in that aspect, he can be a badass and, whoop ass and still, get cheated and stuff like that. Still get screwed over in the long run when it comes to the title and, however the storyline goes in the end, basically. So, but yeah, he has the potential to be what they want, and they're slowly carrying it out. Now, it's going to be real interesting and intriguing to see what unfolds for Bronson Reed. I mean, obviously, Bronson, has put in a lot of work. He may not be on the level of face of the company and all that. Okay, we're not going to put him in that category, but he's put in the work. He's earned where he's at. He's no slouch. He goes out there and he performs. He puts his body on the line. He makes the tsunami look devastating. And he's been put in a lot of big spots with strong guys. And he's made it look good. He's made it work. He's been in the moment and he's made the moment work. And so he's done what he's needed to do. Is he the best on the mic? No. Is he the best in the ring? No, but he's good. He's not the face of the company. He's not even what you consider like the top heel, but he's earned his spot. He should be somewhere higher on the card. Okay. He should be winning intercontinental titles, world titles here and there. Maybe even a WWE championship run. They could even make him similar to Mark Henry, the Hall of Pain world title reign. I mean, they could do that with Bronson Reed. All if they want to. I mean, who knows what WWE will decide to do, because WWE in the end, will have gold in their hands, and then sometimes they'll just fumble the ball and just shit all over everything, basically. And it's frustrating as a fan. Like, I do agree with other content creators who make WWE content, and they're saying how WWE has dropped the ball and WWE has become very lame. It is true, okay? And it's only us fans who have been watching for years, for the last 10, 15 years, or 20 years or so, that, have just decided to put up with the current crap, the things that we don't like, so we can hopefully see the things that we do like. And there are some things that I like and that other people like, but there are a lot of things that we don't like, that I don't like. And it's obvious, it's in your face, and it's annoying. And WWE can do what they want to do. I know somebody is probably out there saying, oh, well, you guys are all just a bunch of complainers and you whine and you moan, you bitch, you cry, and all that. And your opinion doesn't matter because WWE does what they want to do. And ultimately, it's predetermined. So therefore, what are you crying about? You know? But honestly, WWE has to listen to its fans, okay? If things get to a point where the ratings drop too low and where live attendance goes down to a certain degree, WWE recognizes wholeheartedly that that is a travesty beyond comprehension, okay? Like, that is something that can't happen. And if WWE acts like it doesn't matter, because sometimes they do that, people will point out the ratings, people post the ratings online and how the ratings are declining and stuff like that. And WWE and Triple H will sit there and act like nothing's wrong. TKO will act like, oh, it doesn't matter or whatever. Or they'll just plain won't respond. They'll ignore what's being said online. But they know, deep down inside, they know. And they're going to have to come up with a game plan to save the ratings because they can't have another episode of SmackDown fall under 1 million views. Because if that starts happening to both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on a weekly basis, I'll tell you what, they're gonna wish they could call Stone Cold back and a lot of these Attitude Era wrestlers back. But even if they could, Steve Austin can't save the company in its current state. And so WWE has to figure out a way to make the current stars draw and make money and be big stars and all that. And if they just push the right people, okay, it's in your face who the fans want. And if you give them what they want, you're going to get a lot of revenue in return, and the product is going to be good because the fans are engaged. But for some reason, Triple H and WWE think that holding certain people back who the fans really want to see in the forefront and in the limelight, they think that's good for business. But what's best for business is if you do things the way that we want, because we're the ones paying for the company, right? I mean, there would be no company if it wasn't for the fans. And they say this all the time. Even Triple H says this. If you know this, Triple H, then do the right thing. Make the right call. Seriously, it's all you got to do. But anyways, I don't mean to rant here. Got a little passionate there for a moment, but yeah. Till the next one.